bit back, 2 years ago, we have secured, a significant funding from the Urban Cycling Way Fund and the NZTA to the tune of about 2/3 government funding and 1/3 by the council in order to improve our urban cycling way projects. We are now completing year 2 of that program. And we have a number of projects, who are on the go at the moment. So fortuitously, we've got Jodie here, who is leading that project, and I'll pass the baton to her to continue.
Thank you. Apologies for being a few minutes late there. Gosh, now I'm going to puff. Sorry about that. So yes, we've got 11 projects to complete before the end of the financial period, which is June 2018. This here is a summary that we've just completed to show you the 11 projects we have planned. I do have a hard copy here so you can spend some time digesting it. Would you like me to pass that around now or leave it? Thank you. So essentially we've got 4 major projects that we want to box on with. The first one is relating to our beautiful forest. We have completed the Ward Ave McIntyre Reserve. Sorry, we've almost completed the Ward Ave component. We have done McIntyre Reserve and the pedestrian refuge on Sala Street. And we've also done a pedestrian refuge on Tarawera Road. The major project that we had planned here is an alternative access to the forest for alternate modes. So not for vehicles, just for those by foot or by bike. We're just in the throes of debating locations for that. This would ideally be a tourist link and also for families with young children, because we're trying to find a way to connect in with our lovely Mokopuna Trail in the forest there. So that's one of the 4. This one's really exciting. This is our recreational link, the Utahina Stream. The link is already in existence, but it's in various states in terms of condition. And recent weather events have meant we've had to go in and do some damage control, where in some parts we actually lost our stream edge. So that's a 4-kilometre link. This is the spine of the Utahina Stream. There'll be 3 road crossings, and there's ability for 7 schools comprising 4,000 students that could potentially use this link. So the next one is very similar. It's Linton Park, so a green band project. We'll be focusing on the spine. It is in existence, but as I say, like the Utahina Stream, there are some parts that need a great deal more work than others. 3.8 kilometres this one, and the beauty of this one is it's got the ability to have a number of tributaries off it going into the various communities there. So we're also working on some phase 2 projects that when the next round of funding comes up, we'll be looking to make those connections, but for now we need to focus on that spine and getting that in. And the final major project that we are in the planning stages for is a link for Western Heights. We've called this the schools link because, as you can see by those blue markings there, there's a number of schools that we can cater to, and that's one of our primary audiences is the young people. So potential for 3,000 students to benefit from this link. And because this is in various states of condition as well, we will probably be focusing on the parts in order of priority based on need. So that's the ultimate link. The other thing that you'll view in there is the Western Heights Reinvigoration Project. So we're also just looking at the potential, because that's a community that's already voiced clearly some of their needs. We're looking at the potential of the Skyway link, working in with them. So yes, if there's any questions.
Councillor Donaldson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Jodie, there was a recent, I think, cabinet decision or select committee decision to allow under 12-year-olds to cycle on footpaths. This will cater for all, these cycleways will cater for all ages. Is that correct? And are we doing any promotion around, because we have these promotions during periods of darkness for lighting and visibility for safety purposes? One of the things that's quite often raised is it's going to be dangerous for people coming out of driveways, that sort of thing. So are we promoting the wider use of the bell, the bike bell, as a way of signalling your presence politely to people, but it works as a safety issue both ways?
Yes, we are. We're actually working with our communications team on a shared path education campaign. Obviously, all of our Skyway network is shared path, and so those are the issues that we do need to address. So we're currently studying what some areas are doing overseas and in the rest of New Zealand. And I believe this morning the Don't Be Dull, Be Dim campaign kicked off with my team, and they were out putting bike lights on riders, but they've also been in the schools and putting bike lights onto all the children's school bikes as well.
Rotorua, I'm next.
Presentation. Yes, they still ride a lot of those paths, especially down the Fordlands Creek and between the schools. Just wondering, are you developing any partnerships with the local hapu or te arawa to encourage these paths and the use of those paths?
Yes, we certainly are. We're working with a number of different areas on different projects, but that's absolutely the aim. With the alternate entrance to the forest, for example, we're looking at the opportunity to tell a few stories. So the story of Scion, but also local iwi, sort of make them more heritage trails. So that's ultimately what we're trying to do, so that it's got tourism appeal, but it also is a way to tell our story as well.
Quick question. We've got Route 11 ending at Keir Street, and we've got Route 8 starting at Barnard Road. Why isn't that linked? Wouldn't there be a brilliant opportunity for that to be linked? So then you've got a circuit you could always come from the Redwoods, almost right round through the city, and end up in beautiful Nongataha, which is a fabulous destination.
Our original application was for 26 kilometres, so we had that on our original application. Once we've consulted with the community, we've refined it a few times, and I can tell you the link that you just mentioned is on our Phase 2 project list.
Cool, and you sorted out the issues in Barnard Road with the community there? Thank you, if you have.
What we have done is come to an agreement that will create a shared path link from the Nongataha Cycle Trail through to the Barnard Road Reserve. From there, we're investigating the guidelines for placing sharrows on the roads and signage to give direction to the traffic signals to cross.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Stavros, just in a really important link, that'll benefit recreational access to the forest is going to be the Hemo roundabout. Can you just update us on progress with that? Is it ahead or behind? I see some water damage down there, and I've had the question asked, about progress on that. I understand it was mid-2018 for completion.
Yeah, through Mr. Chair. Yes, you're quite correct. The initial completion target was end of June. However, they experienced delays, and I think the target that the revised timetable at the moment is end of September, early October. 17. Yeah.
So the next district news. Can we have this both sides put in the district news to show the community where we're heading in terms of cycleways? I think it'll be really, we'll get good buy-in. Okay?
Mr. Chair, just one more.
Yes, Stavros.
one small comment. As you are aware, the Minister of Transport, visited, our district, last week or 10 days ago. And we spoke about, this program. I think it's very important to recognize that this is a significant improvement to our urban cycleways connections. And again, to remind ourselves, our primary audience are not the competent current cyclists, are the children and those people who don't feel very safe, currently to ride on the roads, and at speed. Next year, this time next year, which is year 3 of the program, when we complete our program we have submitted to NZTA, we will have ensured that the network provides practical and safe access to about 15 to schools with 15,000 children, and the cycleway will be within 500 meters of every one of the schools in the district. So, as a first stage, development of the urban program is a significant step forward, and we do hope that NZTA and the urban cycling program will recognize that and continue their significant funding to provide additional links, over, in the future.
Okay. Any other questions of Stavros? Thank you very much, Stavros. One is Henry Weston, Operations Group on page 36. That's the Arts and Culture Library Museum area. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Right.
And again, as with my colleagues, I'm happy that this is taken as read and we just go page by page.
Okay. Any questions from the bottom of page 36, including library, museum, Sir Howard Morrison Centre, recreation and environment? Sorry? Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, well, with that, thank you, Henry. That was, oh no, Scott, I thought you were getting off easy. Councillor Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Library. The library bus going to be replaced in this financial year or next financial year, and at what cost to council, please?
Yep, the plan is to replace it, and hopefully as early as July, with a van. I can't recall the exact cost. So the big library bus is off the roads at the moment. That'll be disposed of, and yeah, new van will be purchased hopefully in July, and that should give us more flexibility to essentially go to more communities and be more responsive to individual communities.
Tom.
So just following on from Henry, the cost is about $60,000 to acquire a Ford Transit van and a minor fit-out cost as well. So, and that should all be, as Henry suggested, done early July.
Councillor Bentley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a question for our financial officer. Was that vehicle not subsidised or donated in some way by some group of people?
Good question, Councillor. So the library will actually have two then. So one is the one that was donated, acquired by the Friends of the Library, which was the technology-based one. And the second one is actually going to be the replacement of the bus itself and have shelving for books, etc. Yep.
So just an update, and particularly for Chair of FSPNF, Merapeka. So with the upcoming LGNZ conference, there are a number of remits being circulated by LGNZ. And so we'll probably look at bringing those through for our council's position at your next meeting, Madam Chair. Yeah, and Jeff, did you want to speak to signal what they are? There's one round feral cats, and there's another one round sugar sweetened drinks.
So the feral cat one has actually come from Dunedin City Council. They're looking for a remit that would actually provide councils the ability to effectively initiate the same type of services as we do for our dog control. The idea that we could introduce chipping for cats, you could introduce the ability to seize and all of those sort of aspects that we do for dog control at the moment. And again, the main focus for Dunedin is around preservation really of protected or native species that are endangered through large cat populations that are not well controlled. So it's really wanting to actually give local government the power to do that. The second one is around the control of, around sugary or sugar-based drinks, and that is actually it's about the display, I think, and actually promotion of them more than anything. It's actually just limiting the ability to actually to provide large displays of sugar-based drinks in general outlets. So that's the second one. The first one with the cat one, we have supported Dunedin to get that up to LGNZ. Supporting a remit like this, of course, doesn't commit us to a particular position or not. It just allows the council proposing the remit to actually get it in front of the LGNZ meeting to enable councils to ultimately vote on whether that should be going through.
So you can't.
And look, it's probably a bit premature, but the Chief Executive asked me, as the acting Mayor,